Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Hi guys! And welcome to our first episode of To My Younger Self.
Woo! The #1 support network for students and graduates.
Made by young people for young people.
It's Aleesha here.
And it's your girl Praise.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's our first ever episode.
Yeah, it feels really weird to have like everything put together, everything set up.
Exactly.
Like, you see the side? We did that.
Yeah.
We did that ourselves. You see the cushion?
You see the cushion?
And if you aren't watching, then
oh yeah, if you're listening,
subscribe to the YouTube
channel.
If
you're listening, so check out our YouTube so you can see our
But for those listening, we do have like a To My Younger Self logoed mic. It's basically the logo you see on whatever listening audio
whatever
platform you're listening on. But this is
days.
super exciting.
The reason we're smiling so hard is because a lot of planning has been going into this. I'd say the idea has been floating around for a year. And the planning, we've been planning for 4 months now, really.
Yeah, and it feels weird that you actually say 4 months. Because
remember when I first met with you in the cafe?
Yeah, and I remember even before that you called me, when you called me about it. I think I was in the peak of an exam. I was in the peak of something.
Yeah.
And I remember getting on the bus home and I was like, oh, I really need to think about this.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And then we had meetings and now it's
finally here we are.
It's a lot of planning, you know.
But it's obviously felt nice. It's felt worth it. I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of us. I'm really proud of us. Yeah. This is a dream. I'm also just really happy because I really believe in the potential of this podcast. Like, nobody can tell me differently. God would have to come out the sky himself and tell me this podcast is going to flop.
No, fair enough.
Because I'm convinced that it's going to do well.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Now, for those of you who obviously this might be your first time listening to us, or you don't know who we are, my name is Praise.
Tell us a little bit.
I am 22 at the time of filming. I'm 22 years old. I went to the London School of Economics and I studied law. And currently I am doing something called the Solicitors Qualifying Examination, SQE. And I'm doing that with a master's. So once I graduated from LSE in 2023. And that's what I've spent the past year doing. And it's really, really been intense.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not...
It is. I see all the TikToks of everyone doing SQEs. And honestly, I don't envy anyone that's in law.
I don't envy myself.
You guys are really smart.
It'll be worth it in the end. I know that, but during the time it's been really intense. But that's just a little bit about me.
Yeah, and then just a brief bit about me. I'm 21 years old, so I'm actually younger.
How old did I say I was?
You said 22.
Okay, good.
Yeah, don't worry, you didn't say 24.
I thought I said 23. I was like,
So I am the younger self of Praise.
Hi.
No, so I'm 21. I just graduated from LSE as well. Woo! And I literally just graduated, last month? What's the date today? It's
August, June, July. Yeah, you did last month.
Wow, it's gone quick though.
Yeah.
So I graduated last month in economics and politics at LSE, which is where me and Praise met. And I'm going into management consulting, so I'm going into corporate life, which will be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm also going into corporate life. I forgot to mention that. I start training at a law firm next year, which I'm super excited about.
When do you start?
March.
Oh, okay.
Right now it's
March.
I
remember we spoke about this. So, and I start in February, so...
Should be excited. We start our corporate life girlies around the same time. So
exactly.
It'll be interesting seeing the contrast in our life experiences.
Yeah, it's going to be so
Or when
different.
Aleesha's finishing work and I'm probably in the office till like 11.
I'll still be there.
Really, 11?
Yeah. Well, that's a bit of a drag.
Okay.
My hours are 9 a.m. till like 8 p.m. on average finish, but some of the projects can go until 11, some 1 a.m. Like,
Did it say that in your contract?
It's funny because your contract says 9 to 5 and it's not a 9 to 5.
Okay, yeah, mine says 9 to 5, 6, but it's like, just to be clear, you're expected to stay
later. Which I think is a bit crazy, really and truly.
But anyways, yeah.
But yeah,
why,
that's a little bit about us.
Why did we
start
this podcast?
So, I think the whole vision behind this podcast is to inspire students and graduates because we really saw that there was a gap in the market for that. There's not currently like a podcast for young people in terms of like a source of inspiration. So my vision, I mean, let's actually just call out like maybe one or two of our aspirational podcast guests that we want, because like for me, call them out on the camera.
I feel like Aleesha has very different ideas to me, but you go ahead first, honey.
I'll start. So one of my biggest aspirational guests is Unjaded Jade, because when I was growing up, don't laugh at me.
No, I'm not. I watched and watch her too. I actually really do like her.
I love
content that she
content
transformed from like prior studying to what she does now, which is like self-help, mindfulness. Yeah, exactly. It's really soothing. But anyway, continue. Really good.
So Unjaded Jade for me, like when I was growing up, she was like my sort of like biggest help, I guess. Like she was really like a big sister sort of, and I learned a lot of like revision techniques from her, like blurting and stuff like that. So she's someone that I'd love to have on the pod. And then on the flip side, from study tubers, I'd probably say, if I'm shooting really high, like Stormzy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
The sky is the limit.
Exactly. I love that. I think mine would be, and I also mention them a lot to Aleesha, the Receipts podcast.
Yeah, you do. That's your favourite.
Tolly T and Audrey. It's just because they're my Monday routine, they're my Wednesday routine. Like I just love their podcast. And I remember being in sixth form in art class, and we'd have like 2-3 hours of the class, and everyone just had headphones off. We were a class of 5, and you can do whatever you want. And I would listen to their episodes back to back. I put everyone on in that art class, and we were all there cackling because of them. Yeah. So I think they would be like my dream guests.
Yeah. One more.
Maybe. Crazy
one. Nothing's too crazy.
Maybe Molly May.
Yeah, that would be good.
Maybe Molly May.
Imagine if she was the first. Imagine if we were the first podcast that had her and she's talking about her split with Tommy.
Okay, next question. Next question.
So, yeah, I think what our podcast will bring that's really different is the guests. So I feel like me and Praise have accumulated such a large network. Like we're really fortunate to have accumulated such a large network of different people that are inspiring from different industries. Like, for example, I was on a scholarship at LSE, which just exposed me to so many impressive, successful people. So we'll be bringing on a variety of people, professionals, young professionals, from banking, consulting, law, just every industry.
And I also think what will be nice is that we have like people from different sectors as well.
Exactly.
Creatives. And it obviously wouldn't only like creatives as well. And I think that's what's important to have. I think there's always been this notion of like mainstream corporate life, which
is not the only way.
Yeah, like it's not the only way, and we would know as people who have like
been
exposed to the corporate life and also have been creative like from a young age, and I think it's really necessary to have a space for that.
Exactly. And we've got like academics coming on, which I didn't tell you about actually, but the doctor, she replied today actually.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. She is down, so
perfect.
That's good stuff.
So we've got sorts. Professionals, creatives, people in the industry,
study TikTokers,
you know, freelance workers.
Yeah.
Content creators,
It's very exciting.
Yeah, so...
And then we'll also have some episodes with our friends, which we spoke about, family members, siblings.
Yeah, we've thought this through.
This has been thought through. Don't you worry, darlings.
So I would like to ask you, what's your like dream hope for this podcast?
My dream hope is that it's not just a podcast. And I feel like that is somewhat reflected in the name as well. Like we haven't put podcast in the name or show or something.
Do you wanna talk a bit about the name, Aleesha?
Do you know what? Shout out to Kassarat, because I know she's definitely listened to this. She's one of my good friends, because she actually came up with a name for this. So full rights to her. We should write her name at the bottom of the site.
Like in 5 font size.
But you guys will definitely get to meet Kasra at some point. We'll have her on for an episode talking about the perspective of being Muslim in corporate, which will be very interesting. So shout out to her. But yeah, my vision really is for this to just go big and like have live shows. I think one of the main things that sort of kick-started me was when I was doing the Advancing Black Careers Society at LSE, and then we did the Empower Ed event, which Praise also spoke at as a panelist. And when I did that, it was just incredible because we brought together, I think it was 200 odd schools, I think more. And the audience was just packed, like 400 people plus or something. And when we planned that as a society, it just made me a bit sad afterwards because it made me realise this is not actually my legacy. This is going to stay with LSE. And I don't know, like hopefully the next committee is really good and
carry it on.
That, but you can't control that. Maybe the next committee will be really good and the one after will be horrible and the society dies. You can't control it. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, do you know what? Clearly, like the event planning is there, and I'm passionate about social mobility and helping young people. Why not start our own thing?
Which is why we're here.
That's exactly why we're here.
And I think I really like the name To My Younger Self because
really
when Aleesha did propose it, I was like, I feel like it encompasses something that we can continuously talk about as we get older, obviously. Like even from now, like I'm 22, you're 21. There are so many things I would have wanted to tell my younger self, which I would have appreciated having a voice. Like if all the things you have known now, like, and you told your younger self, I feel like you would have benefited from it. So being able to have this space to be that voice to younger people is to me amazing.
Definitely. Like I feel like even just thinking on that tune, like when I was younger, I'm from Leeds actually, I forgot to say that. How can I forget to say that? So I'm from Leeds. I've lived all over the whole of the UK though at this point. I've lived in Bradford, Pudsey, Scotland, and if there's any Scottish listeners, in Falkirk, the tiniest village of like, there's nothing significant there at all. And then London now, obviously. And anyways, my point was, it would have been really nice to have like a role model when I was that age and just lost and confused and not knowing what I'm doing, to listen, to tune in every week and listen.
That's
and be
so
like,
sad.
Oh, it's sad.
But
from
it, no, it sounds really sad. But I'm sure it's brought something very beautiful from it. So yeah, sky's the limit with us.
Sky is the limit.
And now with that being said, we would like to move on to a segment which we're gonna have in every episode for the week, and it's called Vibe of the Week. And essentially, what this is about is any recommendation between our guest, Aleesha, and I. Like, we just say something we'd recommend. Like, it could be a drink, it could be a book, it could be a movie, film. And that is where I bring to ask you, Aleesha, what is your vibe of the week?
So my one this week is the same as what it was last week, but It Ends With Us by Colleen
the film?
Hoover. The film, yeah. So I went to the cinema to watch it last week. Have you seen it yet?
I watched it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Interesting. What did you think? Did you like it?
I'm not a fan.
Really?
But the reason I'm not a fan is I felt like... Have you read the book?
Yes, I have, yeah.
I didn't like how the book made me feel is not how the movie made me feel, which obviously is expected because a movie and book are very different.
Two different things.
But I feel like some things that were conveyed, like, I nearly almost felt sorry for Riles. From how the movie depicted it, which had I not read the book...
Wait, I did not feel sorry for him actually, I don't know why I'm agreeing.
But did you not see how they depicted it? Even, I get, for those who haven't watched it, maybe go watch it, if so, spoiler, how they show later on what actually happened between them in like their fights and arguments.
Yeah, because it gaslit as an audience and then it revealed it afterwards.
But even that to me was like, it felt a bit too quick to just do it like that.
I liked it though.
No.
I really liked the way they did it.
I feel like they took it lightly and I don't respect that
this
at all.
This is our first debate.
But
I know what you mean. But I think for me, it was a really good movie. And I think because I love romance films, I really like this one because I feel like this is the first romance film where it actually had a very serious theme behind it. It wasn't a silly, stupid rom-com, which is why I have an issue with the way they're marketing it. That's a whole
what
other
I'm
discussion.
saying.
So the film itself would be my vibe of the week in terms of I recommend people to go and watch it, especially if you're into romances and stuff like that, because I feel like I like things that touch on more serious topics, and it's something that's important as well because, you know, it's not always shown, like the side of being the abused. It's not always shown on TV and movies.
Or if not, read the book.
Read the book as well, yeah. Both my vibe of the week would be the book and the film. I'm rereading the book at the moment. It's in my bag actually. Was reading it on the train.
Have you watched have you read the?
I'm halfway through. It starts with.
Yeah, you know, it took me a while to get through.
Yeah, I'm halfway through.
I think I'm halfway through too.
I wonder if they're gonna make another film for that.
I think apparently they will.
Probably, but the marketing is really bad. Like Blake talking about wear your florals and just completely downplaying that it's about abuse. And whenever she's asked a question about the deeper themes of the film, she stays away from it. That's my only issue with it. But I think it's a interesting rabbit hole to fall down, for sure. Play. What's your vibe of the week?
My vibe of the week is actually a holiday destination.
Oh, yeah.
So, Lisbon.
So you just came back from your
I just came back from Lisbon, Portugal. And this was the second time I've been this year. And I would go back a third time because each time that I've gone has been for a different purpose. The first time was like a weekend getaway after like my friend and I finished exams. And it was the best time ever. I find Lisbon very cheap.
It's Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah, the contrast in how expensive London is to Portugal is insane. But that's all the more reason why I go back all the time.
My favourite holiday was Portugal as well.
Where did you go in Portugal?
The Algarve. For Afro Nation. It was a good holiday.
Fair enough.
Don't laugh.
But yeah, for anyone looking for a nice holiday destination, and we went in February the first time, and the weather was okay. It was raining, but like it was still a great time. And then this time was super hot.
You're there for a week, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a couple of days. It was a family wedding, but I went with my parents.
You didn't post anything.
Yeah, I'm going to today.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. I was like, where are the holiday
honey, I was enjoying my holiday. But,
sometimes you've got to do that.
Yeah, that is my vibe of the week. Lisbon as a holiday destination.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Thank you, girl.
Okay, so what I was going to say before is content. So what we didn't mention is that both of us have our own personal YouTube channels and we both make TikToks as well and post here and there on Instagram. But I wanted to ask you, because if you didn't know, Praise actually started YouTube a long time ago. You started in your GCSEs, didn't you?
No, I started in sixth form.
Sixth form? Oh, so A-levels.
Yeah.
So what made you start it?
So the reason why I would say I started my YouTube channel was because, like, ever since I was a young little girl, my parents, or like even my siblings would always say, like, I would go in the kitchen and be like, so today we're going to be making cookies, or today I'm going to tell you about my day. And it would be like, exactly, like I would be speaking to no one. Sometimes there would be like my iPad there or like my parents' phone. Other times I would actually just be speaking to myself. Everything's alright, but...
You know, sorry to cut you, I've never heard anyone else say this. I thought it was just me.
No, I do it all the time. I have it in a
monologue. When I was younger, if I'm just like doing my hair, I'll be like, so guys,
yeah, literally, that was me. And then, I'd say two reasons why. Like, one, my brother actually, my middle brother had a YouTube channel, and I really enjoyed watching and seeing his. And then it was a bit after that, like maybe a year after, where I was like, like the fact that I've seen someone close to me do that, I feel like it's something that I also would enjoy. And we're also all very creative as like a family and just individuals. And I thought I would really love that. Like something I really looked forward to was like editing. And that's still one of my favourite things till date. Like I just love editing videos. But separately, my actual purpose was I would always watch YouTube videos growing up. Like, I loved it. I'd watch study tubers. I watched... Have you ever heard of someone called Meredith Foster?
I don't think so, you know.
Yeah, well, she... There's like a group of them. They're like American. Yeah. And they would do like morning routines, evening routines. Like, it was just videos that I loved to watch. And the only thing which to me was always prominent was like I would watch either makeup routines or like hair care routines, and I of course could not follow along because
Yeah.
if it's not clear, I'm black. And
no, it's not even funny.
It was just a consistent thing as a child,
no,
which I didn't upset me in any way, shape or form, but it made me recognise like, oh, there's not really like representation of black people in a lot of spaces.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
especially like what I was doing or like education, it's important to me.
Yeah.
Watching study tubers, there were
not black study tubers.
Or just like
Ethnic,
for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, gap in the market.
Yeah,
but
no, I noticed that
it is, but it was actually because I felt like I would have liked to have someone to look up to. Not even look up to, but like see someone else who cares about their education as a black girl, black person. And they show that journey, and I felt like, I want to be able to do this because I have younger cousins as well, and I wanted them to be able to see like their older cousin like doing work, like studying, like doing things that are important, but you don't really have that representation to see. So that's why I started mine.
You know, that actually reminds me of why I first actually became friends with Adoka, because he was the only, and I still think it's true, I'm not sure because obviously I don't know every single person on YouTube, but he's the only sort of study tuber that was mixed race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What you
No. Say? You added mixed race.
Mixed race, because when I was starting, I was thinking, there's no mixed race that like black people are so underrepresented in spaces, and then mixed race people are also so underrepresented in spaces, and I didn't grow up watching any sort of black study tubers or mixed, so that was even for me what I was thinking behind it as well. But I wanted to say, side note, I love Praise's family, and I can't wait for them to come on.
Oh, thanks.
Because you're talking about them, they're
That's
very
so
inspiring
kind of
people.
you.
And when you guys meet them, you're gonna.
Oh, thanks, Aleesha. Wow, that's such a nice ad-lib. Thank you. Yeah, I love my family.
I love your content as well.
Oh, thanks. Me too.
Yeah. Oh, I would hope so.
Me too.
I started for very similar reasons to Praise. I started in first year of uni. And my first ever video was about getting scholarships. So actually, that was the thing. So basically, I got a scholarship to LSE that was completely covered all of my tuition fees all 3 years, and also like my rent as well. Like, it was a maintenance stipend, and on top of that, it was like you would get mentorship, you would network with the donors. Like, I reckon it's the only scholarship like that in the UK. It's quite an American model where you would meet the donors and stuff. But to me, it makes sense, because if I was,
you'd want to know who you're putting your effort into.
Yeah, I would want to know them and actually be able to help them as well, because it's not all about money in this life.
Yeah,
you know, it's a big part of it is learning like how to talk to different people in different settings and how to network and blah blah blah. So, anyways, when I got that scholarship, I realised that scholarships are so taboo in the UK. They're never spoke about. It's almost like when people talk about finances in the UK, it's almost like there's a stain around it. Like, people don't want to
just
talk about it.
Full stop.
And it's just so dumb, because even for me, I got a scholarship to private school as well for sixth form. And I found it by accident, and like I wouldn't have gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one talks about it. No one at my secondary school said, "Look, this is an option for sixth form," or "This is an option for school." Like, so yeah, that's why I started it, and I feel like it's been successful in that sense, because I still get messages today from that first video. Like, most people message me about that first video, saying that it helped them get a scholarship or blah blah blah. So
that's good.
Yeah, for me it was a big like social mobility thing, but I do wish I started earlier. I always wanted to do it. I did actually, funnily enough, I did actually on the same channel as well post before when I was like 13, but it used to be really dumb videos. Me and my brother did it, and it was called Aleesha and Lems. That was the channel.
Oh, that's cute. No, that's really cute.
We used to like lick salt off each other's arms and like burn our arms with ice and stuff. So I had to delete all those videos.
Why didn't you just...
I know, I should have just unlisted it.
So we can never see them again.
You can never see them. Nobody can ever see them. They're gone. Maybe they're on a Google Drive somewhere. Yeah. But as far as my knowledge is, they're gone, and it's for the better. It's for the best.
It's for the greater good. No, fair enough.
But yeah,
I think we both have great reasons as to why we started.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, tell me an interesting fact about yourself. I'm gonna have to think for mine.
Look, What's an interesting fact? Like,
fact.
You know, it used to be I have a YouTube channel, but that doesn't count for this. Like, this doesn't count.
Anymore.
We're here. I play hockey and netball.
Yeah, you do. You do actually.
And I box as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
when did you start
boxing? I started last December or November.
Wow. That's really cool.
So I've played hockey since I was either 7 or 11. One of those. And I thoroughly like hockey's my favourite sport, so I think I just generally like sports. And then boxing I started last year because my coach, I was going on a walk with my brother, and this man in like a car park was like, you know, we have a boxing club there. And I was like, no. He's like, come. And that's just how it started. But yeah, that's my fun fact. I box, really I play netball, and I play hockey.
That's actually very cool. You're very active.
Yeah,
you're putting me to shame.
What's your fun fact?
Okay. I feel like on the same tune of like passions and hobbies, something that I realised that I'm good at recently is decorating.
I was thinking about that yesterday, Aleesha, because I was in my room and I was like, I need a zhuzh. I need
you just call me.
And then I was like, Aleesha's room was actually very nice.
Because did you see the TikToks I posted?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, I'll show you. I'll show you quickly.
But all I do remember is the FaceTimes.
Yeah. I've shown you my room on FaceTime. Yeah. So this is like, when I posted this, I was like, damn, my room looks good. Yeah. It really looks like one of those
I saw these on your Insta story.
Yeah.
No, but it looks really good. Like, Aleesha's room is sensational.
And for more context here, I was living out all 3 years of uni, and I was kind of dreading coming back home. No offence if my dad is listening to this. It's not even to do with him. It's just because of my room. I just didn't love it. And I feel like I'm a person where, and you're the same as well, I've noticed, my environment really affects my mentality and my day. I don't know why. It just really affects my mental health.
That's how my parents know something's wrong with me. Yeah, once they walk in my room and they see like a blanket on the floor, they're like,
you know something's wrong.
She needs help.
You know I'm heartbroken and there's a blanket on the floor. Like, it can ruin my entire day. And so I just hated my room. I have a really small bedroom, like classic UK bedroom, just fits a single bed in it. And it was just like plain white walls. There wasn't really much going on. And, you know, when I was doing my GCSE, it kind of gave me trauma. Like, when I looked around, I just remembered all of my GCSE revision posters and post-it notes being everywhere. Like, it needed a zhuzh. At the same time. So I stripped my walls, I sanded my walls, I painted the whole room by myself. 2 different colours as well. It's like sage green and white. Then I drilled up shelves. Had to get someone to help me with that, but the little ones I did myself. Built furniture by myself. Bought like a new desk, a new bed, new wardrobe.
It looks really good.
Everything, and I was quite proud of that.
I'll send you a picture of my room because I just there's something at the moment which I'm not really enjoying anymore, and I switch up my room quite a bit. Like, I do switch up like every year or so. I do like a room redo. And right now there's just a vibe which I think is law school. Like, law school actually took everything out of me, which is why I just need to change this room so I feel like I'm entering a new era. And I want one of my walls to be green, actually.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, I think what you might be missing, because your room's white, isn't it? I think the pop of colour, I really like it. Because I really like minimalism, but I'm also stepping away from it, in a sense. Like, I like minimalism with a pop of colour. So, for example, if my living room was full white, I'd like to have, like, a brick wall to break it up and, like, some green plants.
No,
or, like, something yellow like this. Just, like one that. Thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So...
Wait, sorry, that reminds me, I've got something for you. On the topic of law school, and I'm going to give it to you now.
Aleesha just said on the topic of law school, by the way.
And it means you're going to have to make a fake face and pretend that you like it because it's on camera.
No, why wouldn't I? Aleesha, this is proper. So if you can't see, Aleesha's just given me a card and a pink bag. The front says Praisey Raisy. Will that open first? I feel like people are kind over the card, but really and truly, This is so kind of you.
Don't cry, please.
If it's not clear, I finished my masters like a couple Mondays ago.
Intelligent
And the
babe.
card, wow, just wanna be your girl.
I wonder if you even notice. For more context, me and Praise went to All Points East last week. 2 weeks ago.
Last week, actually.
And K Tronada was headlining. It was incredible. We even won. We actually won VIP tickets to Thames's after party as well, which was sick. And we saw, who did we see there?
Adele,
Daniel. If you want to come on the pod, you guys. You know,
and we saw the main character in
Supercell. Yeah, and then at the actual festival, we saw like every single person from Love Island and their mum. And who else did we see? I think it was just Love Islanders, wasn't it?
Aleesha, this is so sweet.
No, congratulations. I'm really proud of Paris.
No, this is actually so kind of you. Wow, I genuinely wasn't expecting this. No, I actually wasn't.
Well, you should have been somewhat expecting it. Because, for more context, we was actually meant to film last week. And you know what? Things didn't go to plan because of the studio. Let's just leave it there.
We'll end it there.
I really like these. I wanted to buy it for myself.
Oh, I love. So Aleesha's giving me like earrings. I love these.
Yeah, all dear listeners, they're like some silver earrings with like a purple
Thank you
planet.
again.
You're welcome. But my problem, when I'm gift shopping, I want everything for myself. So I actually wanted to get that for myself as well. I might go back and get it. Yeah, it would just be
But no, yeah, Aleesha and I went to All Points East 2 weeks ago or last week, and it was the best time. I actually shouldn't have gone. I did have a master's exam in 2 days. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was a great time.
It was incredible
time. I would do it again. One of my greatest nights out. Yeah.
Should we tease some of the guests that we have coming? Tease one or two?
Yeah. So we're not gonna say the name, but one of our guests, she's very funny. She's got a great she posts content, primarily TikTok.
Yeah.
But she's also an educative babe. Yes. A really smart individual.
I know. Do you know, that's a side note, I love when people are smart but also have a personality and are doing so much other stuff, because deep sigh. I did an internship once in first year. This was back when I wanted to be a politician. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's still a goal for later in life, but let's see. But I really wanted to be a politician, and I did an internship in a think tank, and the type of people I met there, they were all very smart, but they were just so arrogant, and like it was a whole personality just being smart. And a lot of people, like particularly people that are really interested in politics, like young politicians and whatnot, I noticed that they're actually not that smart. They just say a lot of words, and the words don't actually mean anything, and you don't actually know what you're talking about. But anyway, that was a side rant. I love this guest that we have.
Yeah, and we're super excited to have her. We're really grateful she's coming on, and I think you'll love the episode. Do you want to give another teaser?
Yeah, the other one I'm going to tease without saying their name is, I mean, I hinted at it earlier, so I might as well just say it. We have a professor coming on. Big doctor. big doctor.
Why did you say it like that?
With books out. Multiple books, and she's incredible. She's a girl boss, and I'm really excited to sit down with her. Actually,
I'm really excited for all the guests we have on. I am
as well. We've got a good lineup.
Super fun.
I'm really excited, and I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, girl.
I hope they're as happy as we are, because if they're just sitting there, like, why are you smiling so much?
No, it's just nice, you know.
It is nice.
No fair. Okay.
Should we go into the confessions?
Okay, perfect. Would you like to explain?
Okay, yeah, so the next segment of this podcast is called What's the Tea? So you'll notice every week we're going to do Vibe of the Week, and then some weeks, not every week, we might do What's the Tea, or we might do a different segment. But What's the Tea is basically us reading out you guys' university confessions or just confessions of any sort, really.
Or scenarios.
Scenarios. Make sure you obviously connect with us on our socials, on Instagram, which is just to my younger self _UK, I think, at the moment. We'll put it in the description. I did actually change that the other day.
Is it?
It is.
Don't recall.
So anyway, check the description box to see what the name of the socials is at that point in time. But follow us there because we'll get you guys' confessions in as well.
I think it'll be super nice.
With that, do you want to get... So I've actually not
Aleesha
heard or
hasn't seen these.
well,
I've put them together. So we're going to go to the first one.
Yeah.
And this person says, from Warwick Uni, my girlfriend just failed her driving theory test.
I passed mine the other day.
And I'm genuinely thinking of breaking up with her because of it. I passed theory and practical first time with flying colours.
What the hell?
He said, intelligence is a big thing for me and I don't want my future kids to be dumb. Valid? Question mark?
Right, so there's elements of validity.
Are you insane?
Validity in that statement.
Aleesha, please.
Overall, you've lost your whole mind. How can you say you're going to break up with someone because they failed their theory test? That's ridiculous.
That's so rude.
That's actually great. I've never heard that. Like, do you know what? No, that's actually ridiculous. Because also, surely you would know the intelligence level or whatever of your partner before you started dating them and ask them to be your girlfriend.
And you know what? The cheek of you to say, I passed mine first time with flying colours. Mate. That's you. Yeah? We are not the same. Yeah. So, and like, maybe she didn't revise for it. Regardless, okay, she didn't pass. Are we just gonna ignore that? Again, what if she, one time in the future, doesn't get a job interview?
You need to be there for people in harder times. I feel like people of our generation are losing that sort of touch.
And this is over a theory test.
This is a theory test.
Theory test.
That's ridiculous. But anyway, I was saying with a part of the validity, can't even speak English anymore.
Validity?
Now I'm going to sound like an arsehole, but it's the part about intelligence, because not related to the theory test at all, because a theory test does not determine whether you're intelligent or not. It's actually a memory game. So
it's a memory game, if you have a bad also memory,
but you're really smart,
I could start revising 2 days before. I've done that before.
That's what I did.
I just passed.
I passed mine with flying colours. I passed mine with flying colours as well, mate.
Okay.
With 2 days of revision, and my dad passed as well with a day of revision. So it really is a memory thing. But with the intelligence point, I feel like. What was I even gonna say?
Intelligence. You're saying intelligence does matter.
Yeah, like to me it matters. I wanna I'm just gonna say it straight. I wanna be able to have an intellectual conversation with someone.
Yeah, of course it's important.
And the spaces that I'm in as well, I kind of want them to be in somewhat a similar space in terms of, it doesn't have to be corporate, but you have to be ambitious. I can't see myself being in a proper relationship with someone that isn't ambitious, doesn't have a vision or goal for their life. And intelligence is in very many different forms, but what I mean is we can actually sit and have a conversation and you have opinions about things.
Yeah, true. Opinions. It doesn't need to be correct. You can teach me things, but and
I can teach you things.
Yeah. And I think that's the same in friendships, to be honest.
Exactly same.
My friendship group, lots of them are from LSE, obviously. Lots of them are from places I've met outside, from secondary school, sixth form. But one thing I've always appreciated so much is that I'm able to have conversations that are intellectual with my friends.
Yeah, no,
and it makes me feel like my brain is growing, is developing, is taking in new ideas, new opinions, and also shaping me, but also changing what I might have thought, changing my views and perspectives on things.
Yeah,
so I do get that.
I'm definitely a person where my perspective changes on stuff. I think you have a serious issue if you don't change your perspective on things. And I agree. Hard-headed, because that's not how life works. You're meant to adjust your perspective based on new information that you receive. So I agree with that little part of the statement. I don't think it's worded correctly, but I agree with that to an extent. But the whole driving test thing is just crap. And if you want to break up with them for whatever other reason, cool, but don't use that as an excuse.
Like, I agree with what you're saying on intelligence, but the reasoning for a theory test to me is completely abysmal.
Yeah.
Like,
poor girl.
Ridiculous.
Poor girl. What's the next one?
So, this one,
I like this segment.
It's something someone said they did. So he said, I had a translation exam and forgot to bring my dictionary. I had my iPhone technically allowed because electronic dictionaries were okay, but it died with about an hour left. I asked to go to the toilet and ran all the way home, a good mile down a hill, to retrieve my dictionary.
What?
I don't know how long I spent, and the uphill run was a killer, but when I got back, no one was any of the wiser, and I continued the exam and managed to pass.
That's crazy.
After the exam, my mate came up to me and said, that must have been a rough because you were panting and sweating when you came back. But, yeah, what's your opinion on that?
That's so crazy. Firstly, what is a translation exam? What is that, like languages?
Yeah, and also, I don't know what country you're from, because that is not possible in this country.
Yeah, that's not possible.
Unless you're doing, like, an open book exam, but even that, you're at home.
Because if you're in a translation exam, why are you allowed a translation dictionary or iPhone?
I think maybe you need it for some things. But also, did you do languages growing up?
Do you know what I actually didn't, which is so interesting?
I did Spanish, I did German, until I dropped that because you were very rude to me, Mrs.
Call her out.
That was my teacher.
What's her name? Mrs. Who?
No, I'm not saying.
Call her out.
But she basically had a problem with me. I write upside down because I'm left-handed, and I do that so that I don't smudge my work.
I never noticed that you were left-handed.
But yeah, she had a serious problem with that, and she even brought it up to my parents at parents' evening one time.
Wow.
And they were like, "But what's the problem?
Yeah.
Like, we're not hearing the issue." But yeah, in translation exams, just because you have the dictionary does not actually mean it's right. Like, you can know the word, but phrasings in some languages they'll put things at the end.
Yeah.
That are, but when you say it back, you move that word to the middle.
Right, this is weird to me. So basically, I didn't do a language because remember I said I moved around the whole flipping world and back.
Oh, not all of them had.
So in Scotland, I was learning German. Then when I moved to London, the school didn't offer German. They only offered French and Spanish. But I moved halfway through year 9. So they just said to me, you know what, you don't need to do a language. Probably because they were quite under-resourced. I would have needed extra lessons of what the students had already. So that's why I didn't do a language at GCSE. I just did another GCSE.
That's very interesting.
But back to the situation, I think that's just ridiculous. Like, I feel like I can be very unorganised when it comes to certain things. Like seminars, for example. Like, I can be really unorganised. Like, I might not do the readings and I might just show up. I've done this so many times. I won't do the readings. I'll just show up and just academic waffle my way through the class.
Okay.
But the one thing that I feel like nobody should play around with is exams. Like, why are you not, like, the night before or in the morning, just make sure you've got everything and, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just crazy to me.
Especially if the essence of it is a translation exam.
That's crazy to me. What do you think?
I don't know how you end up in that situation. Yeah,
I just don't understand how
neither would I have left the exam to run all the way back to, like, my house for it. It's not feasibly possible for me. Like, I would miss the exam and come back the next day because, like, that's how long it would take me to
it kind of reminds me of, like, for example, I've had certain economics exams. If you haven't got... Do you know what? That is so dumb, actually, the more I'm deep in it. Sorry. I've had certain economics exams where you need a calculator and... I think one time I brought my calculator and it was broken, but luckily because I was like get to exams early, I could buy another one. So if I was in that situation, it's kind of the same thing. You've forgotten a calculator, you've forgotten a dictionary, whatever. Just buy one. Is there not like a shop nearby? I'm guessing his house must have been close for that to be possible.
But up a hill and down a hill, I would book to Uber.
Fair enough, but at the same time, sort yourself out.
I have one more, but I don't know if we have time.
Ooh, yeah. Do it quickly.
Okay, this I just need your opinion and tell me what you think. I'm almost 25 and my mum doesn't believe that I will survive university. Should I just continue at the University of Applied Sciences? If it is my dream to become a neuroscientist, people believe I'll fail if I go to university.
Sorry, can you start again?
So I'm almost 25 and my mum doesn't believe that I will survive in the university. Right. Should I just continue at the university which I'm currently at? Mm-hmm. My dream is to become a neuroscientist, but people believe I will fail if I go to the other university. Is it realistic? What should I do?
I think it's easier said than done, but don't listen to other people's opinions.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
If you have a goal and a dream and you're certain that you want to pursue that, neuroscience, then pursue it. Because I feel like even the fact that you have such a clear idea of what you want to do is so impressive, because if you have a clear passion for something, yes, university is hard, but if you clearly lock in on a goal and a career or whatever it is, or an industry, you're going to find it that bit easier because you'll actually enjoy it. Yeah.
It's the fact that you'll find it easier because you know you're motivated to do it.
Yeah, you want to do it.
It's not to say that the actual journey will be easy.
Yeah.
But I feel like where motivation is from yourself, like when it comes from yourself, things...
Yeah, that's actually so much better when you have self-motivation versus there's so many students out there that have only gone to university
your parents
because
the
parents force them to go, like the African parents or whatever it is, force them to go to Oxford, and now they're in there and they hate it. So to actually have that self-drive and, you actually want to do that thing, I think that's really impressive, and try to block out all the noise and just focus on what you want.
Yeah.
Is what I'd say.
So that is the last one that we have for What's the Tea, but we hope you enjoyed that segment and we hope you're looking forward to more segments that we have. This has been our first episode.
I think that was banging as well.
To my younger self.
I'm proud of that one.
It's been...
Oh, the last thing.
It's been your girl praise.
I don't know if we have time for that.
We do. It's been your girl praise.
And it's been Aleesha. Do you know what, guys? Can I just say, sorry to ramble, my actual normal YouTube intro is, if you haven't seen my face before, my name is Aleesha. But I can't really do that because there's people listening. So what am I going to say? You haven't seen my face before, you haven't heard my voice.
If you haven't heard my voice before, this is Aleesha. Yeah. Let's get it. Go.
Yeah. If you haven't heard my voice before, this is Aleesha.
And it's been your girl Praise, and we will see you next week
on another episode
of To My Younger Self.
See you.